the three parties, the Liberal Democrats, Tories and Labour, potential Prime Ministers were there. Martin Sorrell, what's your cast on that? Do you think it's wrong?
I think it is an affront, yes.
You do think it's an affront?
Yes, I do. I mean, at the very least, it should be done in the context of Scotland, at the very least. But SNP is a significant party, particularly in this area of the country, and I think there should. I think it is a...
There is going to be a specific debate in Scotland,
yeah.
It has to be said.
Yeah, but I think it should be. And I think we'll probably all be exhausted with 1.5-hour debates at the Prime Ministerial level, at the Chancellor's level, at the Foreign Minister's level, and whatever other levels we have, and we'll probably all be tuning out. But I do think it is wrong.
Okay, Liam Byrne.
Well, I just think that we should be having as many debates over the next few weeks as possible. And I think the more that we get them on television, the better, because I think there is a big choice at this next election about the course that we take as a country. I think there is a question about the prime ministerial debates, as you say, which are conducted between parties who are running MPs in every single seat. But look, I think in every region, in every country, we want to see as much debate as possible, because there are some really big choices as a country that we've got to front up to.
But you don't think the SNP should be included in the prime ministerial debates?
No, I think when the SNP runs MPs as candidates in every seat, then there's a strong case for that. But that's to take nothing away from what I hope will be some excellent debates in Scotland. I think there's going to be 2 or 3 of them.
Alex Salmond.
Well, I mean, obviously we'll get together with Plaid Cymru and we'll stand candidates across England so as we can get a shot in the television debate.
You might find English voters voting for you if you're going for independence.
I know that you would, David. You've said it before.
Know what I would do.
Well, we'll use you as one of our great celebrities in the campaign, David, when you come out for Scottish independence. It's interesting that they started to be called prime ministerial debates. That came fairly late on. There were leaders' debates at first, and then suddenly they became prime ministerial debates, which was to provide an argument after the event for excluding Plaid Cymru, who are part of the Government of Wales, and the SNP, who are the Government of Scotland. We talk about this as an affront to the SNP and an affront to democracy. It's an affront to the countries of Scotland and Wales. These 3 debates are all to take place in England, which is one of 4 countries in the United Kingdom, one of 4 countries, with an audience gathered from a 15-mile radius round the debates. The first debate, which is to be in ITV, is to focus on domestic issues, i.e. education, health, things which are devolved to Scotland. That entire debate will be largely irrelevant to the voters of Scotland and Wales, who are pursuing different policies, thank goodness, on the health service in particular. And yet they're styled as UK debates. So what I would say is 2 things. I think the BBC in particular, which is paid by licence payers across the 4 countries, not just in England. The BBC is the British Broadcasting Corporation, not the English Broadcasting Corporation. It has an absolute obligation to make sure that the balance is maintained across the 4 countries of the United Kingdom. And therefore the proposal we put, which is a perfectly reasonable proposal, is to have a 4th debate, including Plaid Cymru and the SNP, where we can talk about issues like the Trident missile system that the lady mentioned earlier, where there's a big difference of opinion between us as the Labour and Conservative parties. We can talk about the constitutional future of Scotland and Wales, and perhaps we can talk about a balanced parliament and how Wales and Scotland, the SNP and Plaid Cymru, might have a decisive influence in the next parliament.
Okay.
And it might be, who knows, an even more interesting debate than the drama between the other 3 parties in the other 3 debates.
First of all, this is not a decision which the Labour Party or the Conservative Party or the Liberal Democrats have actually made. This is the this is the various organisations and broadcasters that are organising these debates. But secondly,
this was an agreement between the 3 major parties,
to say
BBC, ITV and Sky.
And the 3 major parties went out and said, we will not have Alex Salmond, did they?
Yes.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did.
No, they did not.
Yes, they did.
But let me just say this. Let's just be very clear about what this election is about. Scotland is absolutely important. In terms of these election debates are about.
Yes,
what these election debates are about.
Don't want to have the whole
I don't want to.
propaganda.
Scotland is absolutely important. The people of Scotland are absolutely important. The SNP is important. It's an important player in our democracy. But these elections and these particular debates are prime ministerial debates. These are debates between people for a United Kingdom election who are fighting seats in every single area of the United Kingdom, who will potentially become prime minister. And however much I like you, Alex Salmond, as a person, however much I like Alex as a person, Alex Salmond is not going to be Prime Minister of the United Kingdom and therefore shouldn't be in the prime ministerial debates.
Is Nick Clegg going to be Prime Minister?
Well, maybe Julia can answer that.
The thing is, Alex, that these are debates about a UK Westminster Parliament elections, and you're not even standing as a candidate to be an MP. This is one of a series of debates, and there's also been education spokespeople, Treasury spokespeople taking part, and I agree with Liam that we should have as much discussion as possible, but ultimately, if we're looking at the leaders of people who could be the next Prime Minister, I think it makes sense, if we're having prime ministerial debates, to have people from parties that are fielding candidates in every single part of the country.
I think I said these broadcasts are going to be very long, they're going to be very arduous for the viewers. The premium will be on not making a mistake. That's the problem with these debates. Certainly we've seen that in America. I think if Alec was involved in them, certainly the debate would be more punchy, certainly be more interesting, certainly more stimulating, and the demand for detail in terms of policy, I think, would be greater. So the more influences we have to bear in this debate, and it's not stayed and projected and programmed, I think the better.
Okay, well, we'll see how it turns out. I hope it won't be any of that. But let's see. Just take a couple of points. The man in the check shirt there.
Alex, is your reason for causing a fuss about this not more about your ego and less about democracy?
Right. Okay, and you, sir, over there.
To follow up on the point that was raised just now, it's not just about the smaller parties being marginalised, but this so often, it just focuses on Labour versus Conservative. And I think what would be much more interesting to see would be to see individual pairs of leaders in a much shorter format, paired off, so you can really see what the differences between them actually are.
Okay, let's go on. We've got time just for one more question. It's from Zakia Yousaf, please. Zakia Yousaf.
Is the expulsion of a diplomat the most appropriate penalty for an act of terrorism?
This is the